Hi, I hope you're doing good. Today, I'm going to discuss about posting a journal, a manual journal, which is also known as a journal journal. Uh, what is the concept behind a manual and a journal and other type of entries, accounting entries? All other entries are automatic. For example, if there is a kind of an entry from bank account, so obviously it will be posted into the relevant ledger account along with the bank or cash account, and it will directly be posted through the bank statement connection with Xero. We do have receipts journals, obviously, which are also known as receipt vouchers, uh, which are obviously again connected to your bank and directly posted to your receivable journals. There are payment journals, which are also known as PVs, payment vouchers. So how do they create? Uh, how are they created basically? So what do you do when you're making a payment from your bank account? So your contra adjustment is to any kind of a payable account to which you have incurred a kind of a liability or an expense but haven't paid for it. So it directly goes to hit that payable account or maybe to any expense account. But in case if there is a kind of entry which is not related to cash and bank, receivable, payable, and other line items, then we have to create some manual journals. For example, if there is any error and you want to correct the error, you'll have to make a manual journal, the journal, right? There are few year-end transactions, or a few people's do a kind of monthly transactions of depreciation, of provision for doubtful debts, etc. So you have to create those journals manually, maybe on a monthly basis or a quarterly or half yearly or an yearly basis. So actually, how are they created? And obviously, what is the nature of those accounts which are hit by the journal? So let's discuss about that, right? So now, if I'm on a dashboard and I want to go for it, I'll go to accounting, I'll go to advanced section, and within this advanced section, you can see there is a separate section of manual journals. I'll go into that. Within this manual journal, you can see the status of all journals. Either they are draft, they are posted, they are voided, they're repeating, they're archived, right? So now it depends how many journals have you posted, right? So if you're working throughout the year, and if there is or there are a lot of journals, they all will be listed over here, right? So as I gave you a few examples, you can see there is a recoded one line item affecting one transaction. So recoding is basically correcting your errors. Coded incorrectly office equipment should be computer equipment. Again, there was an error which was corrected on 26th of October. And then here you have created an accrued liability on a month basis, which does not have the cash outflow as yet, but maybe in future. So when the outflow goes, so it will be hit to this accrued liabilities account when the cash is paid actually, right? So now, what happens and how do we create the journal? You can see it's a very simpler screen. You can simply go into new journal. Over here, you have a kind of a pro forma available. What you need to do is you need to just tell what are you creating in a narration, right? So for example, I'm posting or depreciation expense for the year 2022, right? So I'm saying what I'm going to do with the transaction below, right? So this is a kind of a narration. Date, it should be year end. So 31st of December 2022 would be the period when I want to create this entry. And this kind of entry is generally created on year end, or maybe on a quarter end or a half year end, right? Some people do create these entries on a monthly basis as well, so depending on the company policy. So now, if I move on, there is an option to create a description. I can create the description as is, which is given in the narration, or I can say this is a depreciation expense, then which account. So I can select from a drop down which account should be hit by this entry. So I do have an account of depreciation expense with 416. This account does not kind of affect the text or weight, so it's no weight category already created by me when I was setting up the account of depreciation expense. Region, if I want to add, I can add a region with a drop down list. Then it is a debit because it's an expense. So for example, it's £100 expense to me. Now, what is the contra to depreciation expense? This is an accumulated depreciation. Now, which account I want to hit would be taken from my list. So now accumulated, assuming it was an expense of office equipment, so it will automatically create £100 credit entry for me. So now I have an option to go this option and post it and add another, save as draft, or save and add another one. I can add a new line item if I want to, if it's a multi-entry and I want to post multiple entries along. So I can create other entries below these lines, right? Now, when I post it, if we go to posted transactions, you will be able to see this depreciation expense for the year 2002, date effective is 31st of December 2022, debit amount is this, credit amount is this. If I want to go into detail of this transaction, I'll just simply click this and the voucher will be open in front of me. I can print the PDF, right? And this will give me a kind of a PDF file. I can have these all options to repeat the journal, to reverse, void, to copy, and to edit, right? So now, these all are the options available to you. Even you can add a note as well if you want to. Like if you want to mention something specific to this, you can add, for example, you might want to say that what is the percentage I have applied on depreciation. So you can just simply write it down here. And who has posted the journal, when, what time, everything is available, right? So all trails are available in the Xero. Now here, this is an interesting part. You have a manual journal number of 579. So whenever you want to search for this specific journal, you can obviously search by this number as well, right? So now, if you go back, now you have the list of posted journals over here. You'll have all journals listed for you, whatever are posted or draft. Then if we go to this repeating journal, what are these repeating journals? Sometimes what happens, as I said, you might want to create a monthly journal of depreciation, and it might create £100 expense each month to make it a £1,200 for the year, maybe, assuming the numbers. So if you want to repeat the journal on a monthly basis, what you can do, you can just set a rule within Xero, and then you don't need to post it again manually. This journal will be posted at each month end for you without any kind of manual intervention from you, right? So for that purpose, how can you do that? You just need to go to new repeating journal. Again, a kind of a pro forma. What is the first journal date? Assuming I'm going to start it from January 2023. (31st of January 2023), and then I want to repeat it on a monthly basis, right? Every 1 month. And date, I don't want to end the date because it will be a kind of repeated nature transaction. So what is this about? This is about depreciation expense on computer equipment. Computer equipment, and then we have depreciation expense. I'll just say this as a depreciation expense. To hit the account of depreciation expense, I'll select depreciation expense account, assuming computer equipment is going to be charged £100 each month. Then I'll have the accumulated depreciation. The account I want to hit is accumulated depreciation on computer equipment. It will create a £100 entry. What I'm going to do, I'll just save this rule. It is not going to be posted because the date is a future period. So it will save it, it will not post it, and it will post it once I am there. Like when I've reached 31st of January 2023, then it will post the journal for me. So if I save it, now an error occurred for the following reasons: how you want this journal to be treated, save as draft, post on journal date. So now to post, right, and now save. So now the journal will be posted on next journal date is 31st of January 2023. Journal will be posted, right? Now, this is a repeat journal. It will be created every month end for me without my manual intervention. And when I'll reach to year end, it will be counting as a 1200 accumulated depreciation on computer equipment accumulated account. Okay. Now, I hope this helps you. And if you have any questions, you can reach out. Thank you.